What's happening, guys? If anybody's here. Anybody in here? Hey, go sign go. What's happening? Just gonna I was a little bit bored and man, how you like all that neon stuff, huh? The BN20's cutting. I mean, that thing is slow. Just listen to it. How's it going? I'm setting up my little desk here. I've got all the monitors and my phone and everything else so I could see. So, oh, that's cool. So I could see the chat up here in the OBS. And it'll tell me when someone's in. That's neat. So what's going on? Yeah, I love neon too. Who doesn't like neon, right? Got the BN20 cutting. It's cutting super slow. Just demonstrate. I mean, you can't even see, but that thing is going up and down so slow. But I mean, it works. It cuts. I mean, it's great for HTV because you're doing shirts. So, let me get my drink. Hey, I got these basketball shorts on. I don't know how much a delay there is. Figured when people start showing up, we can start talking about the BN20. So, to see how much lag there is or latency, when I say number 2, type number 2 as soon as you can so I can see how long between. 2. Well, you retracted a message. That should mean something. I got that light behind the monitor. I don't think I need it. Was it really that long? It was like 30 seconds. Was it really that long? Oh, I gotta take the glass off. It's reflecting the screen. So yeah, BN20 live talk, live chit chat. I get questions every day, all day long, about the BN20. It's like the new Cameo, you know, like they're all switching, they're all biting the bullet and upgrading. It says I have 5 viewers, but only you're talking. Hit that thumbs up, guys. The 5 that are watching. Hey, I got a thumbs up. Give me those thumbs up. But yeah, I mean, we could talk. Ask some questions. I'm just cutting some stuff on the BN20 to show. These are 6-inch long test cuts, about 1 inch tall, just so you could see. And there's 30 of them. It's just step and repeating on some scrap vinyl. So, but what I'm doing is I'm testing out different pressures for the blade, because I've been going back and forth with 45s and 60s, trying to do some tests for helping people that ask me about the settings and stuff. So what's going on? Yeah, I work at one of the oldest neon blowing bending companies in Chicago. I know Waldo was on live the other night talking about the neon he did for the toaster oven, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, like we're one of the oldest, huh? We did all the. I got videos doing repairs for the first McDonald's in Des Plaines. And we did a bunch of repairs on those. I mean, we've always done those, but guy at work, I was videoing him doing them. So, well, who else is gonna start talking here? Let's let me play around here. All right, so live chat. Okay. So yeah, I'm just in a shop, and figured I'd go live and talk about the Roland BN20. It's 9:30. Maybe it's late for some, maybe not others. Let me just check on some stuff here. Oh yeah, this week my super thanks was activated on all my videos. So anytime you view an old video, you can click on that and send me money. If the video helped you, click that link and help me help you. People helping people. The greatest sign company in the world, in Chicago world. I've been there forever. I love it there. I love my bosses, man. They're great. Those guys are great. They're the best. Right here, right now, I'm my own boss. So, but if we got any questions on the BN20, ask away. I had somebody earlier, man. It was like a conversation on my comments, like every 5 seconds back and forth. I got it open, so I'm responding right away. So it's like a chat. You know what I mean? You know what's funny? It's just cutting, but it's doing. It's still pausing to do like little ink cap station flush. Well, yeah, if you got questions on the maintenance, on replacing consumables, replacing stuff, medias I use, the costs. I mean, cost is kind of all over for me. Mostly that printer for me is it does my own product labeling and sticker giveaways that I do. I do make money on it, but mostly the latex. So we got, if you're just coming in, we're just chit-chatting. BN20 and anything. Pretty much anything. I don't do many lives. I figure I like to connect with you guys. Yeah, so it's just kind of a live, since I get questions all day long, every day. I figured why not just do a live and talk to people now. Well, I hope I don't mess up this video. I'm going into my settings. Hit that like button. If you just came in, my name's Ken, the Print House, and I've got a small little channel here I run by myself with a bunch of equipment, and I do a lot of reviews, help videos. I got somebody did send me, this is cool, I was going to talk about it. Somebody sent me a light pad, an A3 light pad, and which is ironic because my dad was a newspaper press, letterpress printing guy for years, and he had very old light tables, and I used to play around with them, build my models and stuff on them. But recently, it's funny because I was looking up these, right? And I don't know if that's backwards or not, but it says light pad. It's A3. A3D40 is this one. Anyway, I was looking up light tables because I had an old light table my dad gave me, and it was just very vintage, and the bulbs were very old. I didn't want to convert it over. I gave it away, so I told somebody about it, and they wanted it. They took it right away. Anyways, I was thinking about building a table for light so I could do vinyl, because with the Brightline, which is nice, when you use Brightline and you cut it into the backing and you lay it on light, you could see the lines easier. Because with the color print, when I was doing tests with that color print, it's so hard to see those lines in there. And I hate weeding anything anymore. My days of weeding are just very over, pretty much. But I'll do the HTV stuff. It's easy stuff. Anyways, So somebody reached out to me on the channel and asked me to do an open box review on this light pad. And sure, why not? So they sent it over, got it in a couple days, and that's it. Here it is. Ironic, because I was thinking about building another table. I mean, it's A3, it's big enough, so you can. It's still useful, and it says lithium battery, so it's a battery powered one. There's some without battery and with battery. 2400 milliamp lithium battery, 6 levels of adjustment. I saw a video on it, and it had 3 different colors, and then the temperature, you can raise the colors up. But it's a lithium battery, and it's got some stuff on the bottom here. It says uniform luminous scale included, 6 levels of stepless dimming, slim portable soft light protection, and then charging. So it's basically one of those USB chargers. Anyways, they sent it to me, and they're waiting in anticipation for me to do an open box on this, and I'm very excited about it because I think it's a really good product. I get a lot of guys. You run these YouTube channels, you get people that want to talk or have you do unboxings for a lot of equipment, right? I get them all the time, and I get like weird stuff that doesn't really make sense to my channel. And I thought when this person reached out to me, very nice person, I'm like, wow, this is appropriate for my channel because I could definitely demo weeding on this, and it'll be useful. It's a tracing pad. It's what it is. But you can weed vinyl, and other things. Be creative. So I figure my kids will use it. They like to draw, so that'll be cool. But, just asked me to do an open box and talk about it, and I'm like, sure, why not? So I got a video of this going up soon. Keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to open box it on this live. Hey, maybe I should do a live on it. But this video is about the Roland BN20. I mean, it's about anything, but specifically BN20 because I get questions all day. So come on in now while I'm here instead of messaging and emailing all day long to printhouse@gmail.com. So that's the light table. I'm going to go ahead and, light pad. They call it the light tracing pad. I don't know if it's going to stand up or not. Probably not. But put a box behind there or something. Yeah. No, ain't gonna work. Well, I got this, I do these custom pads here. It'll probably hold it right there. Let's see. Good enough. Anyways, it's illuminated light pad. And I've turned it on, so it's like you got really good whites. I forgot what it said. I know it's at least 6,000. 6K. So, anyways. 6, 7 people. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Totally appreciate it if you do that. I don't make a ton of money on this channel, obviously. But you treat these channels, you treat your YouTube like a hobby. I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy interacting. Like I literally, if you go through my videos, I literally respond to like every single comment. And if I don't respond right away, I do respond eventually. And if I don't respond, I apologize. But I try to give as much information I can out there. I'm not holding back. I have nothing to lose or gain by talking and interacting with people on here. I know most of the people that watch my channel are watching it based off of equipment research. I did the same thing when I first started out. I mean, I'm not new on YouTube. My other channels have been around since 04, 05. But for like signs and stuff like that, not signs, but when I got into the printing part, I mean, the signs and vinyl I've been doing for years. But when I got into the home printing stuff, there was a few channels out there. Time to Make Something was one of the good ones. Interact a lot with him. He does great video. Man, that guy's grown. He's got a big old warehouse now, doing really well. So that's good. It's good to see people are doing well during this COVID, and it's still COVID. It's still here. It's affecting people's business. And then Derek, Avalue Designs, but he's Print Shop Talk now. Anyways, those guys are how I started watching when I first started watching. So those are great videos. A little bit different direction as far as their equipment. So they got tons of different types of equipment, lasers, and I know Darren from Time to Make Something. He's been doing pens, lasering pens, and I've always wanted to get like a fiber laser. Oh man, I always wanted to get one of those. I just I'm running out of room, but I mean, I have to get rid of something to get stuff because I don't want to take up the studio space that's in front of me. So, anyways, let's talk. Anybody here? Let's go. BN20 or Ecosol or Roland's. What am I on? 6 months with this Roland? I love it, guys. It's a really good machine. What I don't like is, let me tell you something. What I don't like, the cutting. Obviously, look at that thing is cutting. It would have been way done if I was doing that on the Sumo or my Graphtec. I've talked about it many times, but the cutting is the worst part of this machine. When I say worst, it's great for HTV if you're not doing a lot of weeding. If you're just doing contour cutting on your HTV for shirts, it's great. You print, cut right off in one shot. If you have a lot of coverage, you want to dry, you set your time before cutting, or you cut first and then print. You could do that too. I've done that on an accident, not on purpose. But the other thing about this, if you do, like, I use Oracle 3164. And I'm going to talk about it. If you guys have questions and you want to ask, I'll repeat. I don't care. Because I know that's hard to do. So we really haven't gotten into anything deep. But I print mostly on 3164. And I recently just started printing on it on my HP Latex. So the comparison I have on this is interesting. Does the BN20 need good ventilation? You need no ventilation with the BN20. You don't. And the salesman at Roland will tell you that you don't need it. Let me touch back on that in a second. So what was I saying? Okay, so the 3164 media that I print on, the Oracle. So I was first start printing that on the BN20, and I love the way it prints. It prints beautiful. Gradients are great. Gradients were terrible when I used the Green Star media on the BN20. When I had some left over when I got my printer from US Cutter, my Latex, they sent me Green Star 6mm. I like it for the thickness of it. It makes a real good rigid decal for applying stuff. But so the 3164 I print on the BN20, it if you do full coverage decals and you just do contour cuts and you peel them and they're full coverage, they're really flimsy. I mean, they're very hard to work with. So if you're like peeling them and putting them on bottles, I'm talking like if you laid 100% color, a background, they're terrible peeling them off like that. But when I use that same media, the 3164, and print my Latex, they don't do that. They're not as flimsy. And I could show you. I recently printed up some banners for another YouTuber, Texas Finest, cool dude. So he hit me up, print him some banners. So I did him some stuff. I did him some freebies too. So this is one of the stickers freebies I did for him. So this is 3164. See, it's Oracle. I printed some on the BN20 and I sent it to him. I did not send him any from the Latex. So when he got these from printed on the BN20 in the same material, he was like, I can't apply these because they're too flimsy. They're too elastic. You know what I mean? Like they were elastic. And he showed me a video, and I was like, as soon as he peeled it off, it was like curling up. And I was like, oh, you know what? I didn't test one of those before going out, but I knew Ecosol does that in full coverage. I think they're 3.4 mil on that 3164. So anyways, I did a test on the Latex with them. And this is one from the Latex. Now watch, when I peel this one off from the Latex, peels off nice and flat. It's not elasticy. It doesn't curl up. So the Ecosol is reacting to the 3164 differently than the Latex is. So the Latex is more pliable by hand. You know what I mean? If you're doing BN20 with a large coverage, you can mask, if you're doing vehicle graphics, mask that vinyl with the print on there. Mask it up. Mask that vinyl up and apply it. It's not a big deal. That's what you would normally do. I mean, if you lam it, then it doesn't matter anyways. I'll be honest. I've done vehicle graphics where like you're doing logos, 2 feet on windows. I don't mask that. I just lam it, peel it, and put it on. You don't, and if it's HP Prime or any other air release vinyl, you just put it on. It's easy. So anyways, this is the decal I did from the Latex, and you could tell. So I was going, hey, I think that's Texas Finest right there. I think you were hiding under that name before. Anyways, yep, you're welcome, dude. So yeah, you can see it's not curling up. Texas, I was just talking about you and these stickers. How when the ones I sent you came off the BN20 from the EcoSolvent printer, that blue one there, and they were more flimsy. And I printed these on the latex after I talked to you, and EcoSol reacts to the 3160 differently than the latex does on the Orcal 3164. Because I really like printing on the Orcal 3164, but I do know blacks on the BN20 are way better. You get a better gloss black on the vinyl. It's just true. Like side by side, the black from the BN20 EcoSol is more glossy, more black. Now that's just a raw decal, no lamination or anything like that. So, but yeah, this is the decal from that. So 3164 I use. I've done 3160. I do the air release, the gray adhesive one, and I use 3651. So I've only used a little bit of that 3651 to test. I bought a 10-yard roll just to test on, and it's really good too. So what I would really prefer to do is here I could show you. No, I don't have it. I really like to use the HP Prime on the BN22. So I cut that down, and that print's really good too. But prices are going up on all that media, so 54-inch rolls are getting up there. Still cheaper than buying label material. When I had the label printers, media for those, ridiculous, double if not more for the media, for label media. It's stupid. I don't know why. So Jenny, if you're still here, so yeah, I mean there's no ventilation needed for the BN20. It's probably, I mean, it's a smaller printer, so if the salesmen are pitching it that it doesn't give off any, I can't see how it wouldn't. But not like if you've ever been around larger machines. Cmyk's are the worst for smell. I mean, I've been around them my whole life. Those are the worst as far as odor. So you're not going to get the BN20 odor. Nope, not going to happen. If you had a 54-inch EcoSol rolling down here, you will. You will if you run it enough. You will. It bothers some people. Maybe it doesn't bother me. I don't know. I've been around it, but I could smell it when it's heavier. So welcome all the new people coming in, and we're up to 12. How to use a Suma with the BN20? Is it possible? It is not possible to cut from VersaWorks to your Suma or Graphtec from VersaWorks. It is not. What you can do is print from Illustrator Corel, and then just use your plugin, Quick Cut or Cutting Master from Corel, and it's basically just like Flexi Production Manager. It's made by SAI. And you just print from Corel and Illustrator or any other Affinity. You print from there right to your BN20, and you print with your registration crop marks. It's not hard to do. I could show you if you want. I'm set up here to show that screen. But you would print to your BN20 from Corel. It would print your registration marks. You print it, take it off, laminate or not, put it on your Suma or your Graphtec, as long as you can cut from your Corel Illustrator from currently with your drivers. Like I can't. I cut my Graphtec. That's what I mostly do because I did the Epson like the same way. So yeah, the BN20 can. That's what's nice about the BN20 versus the Latex. Latex is really proprietary to the Flexi program. I can't print from any other program. I have to print from Flexi. It's not a terrible thing because I know you know how to do profiles and play with the color gamut, guys. You can get great colors out of that Latex. So it doesn't hold me back on the Flexi. But I would rather print from Illustrator Corel from any printer, no doubt about it. Because I was running those other labels, the Epson, and the same thing. It was printing phenomenal. I love it. So printing from Corel was what I was using. You're welcome, Jenny. He's like, I love the 2 logo that you did for my logo. No problem, Texas. I appreciate it, man. I'm just glad that you were happy with it. I figured do a little bit extra for you just to show what I can do. The ecosolvent ink will curl at the edges with full bleed. Yeah. So did you hear, Robert? Did you hear me just talking about that? So I sent Texas Finest, Act Bad. He's in the chat right now. I sent him some banners, some free stickers, and I printed on the Orcal 3164, right? And as soon as he peeled it off the backing on the 3164 from the BN20, it curled up. Well, guess what? This is printed from the latex. It's more rigid. It doesn't curl up because of the process of how it's print on the latex, obviously. But and you know, latex has a tons more heat. The BN20, you know, puts out tiny bitty heat, and you can't adjust it. So 3164 didn't curl my latex at all, but it definitely curled on the EcoSol for BN20. So, and if you guys have experience with the EcoSol Max 2 inks, I wonder if it's the same. I don't know. I have 20-inch US cutter. Yep. Cool. But yeah, I mean, the BN20 is great. I mean, if you're here and you have one, you guys love it. I mean, because I love having it. I like not having to take my banner material out every 4 times a day. You know, because it's heavy. You know, those rolls are heavy. I have to get my son down here because I'm broken. But then I could just run a lot of small decals on the BN20. And outgassing isn't that bad, guys. I mean, with HTV, I don't outgas anything on the HTV. I think the shortest amount of time it sits before I put the clear mask on it, you know, to apply it, maybe 15 minutes. I know somebody had mentioned it depends on maybe the color or the certain media HTV you're using. Maybe it'll peel off the ink. I don't know, but I've done videos and they're not peeling off ink, so you don't need to outgas when you're using the masking, the clear masking. You got to use. Well, I use Brightline version. I think it's 454 or something like that. But like you know, obviously you need to let prints outgas before lambing. You have to. When everything comes off of the BN20, it's still wet. When I use True Color 3 or Rich True Color, I forgot what it is. That comes out real heavy, and you run your finger, it's wet, you know that, you know, but it dries pretty quick. It's not enough to worry about it. I do a lot of product decals, so I print and I just throw them in boxes. That's all I do. Do you find much demand for banners in the max size BN20 print? So I do a lot of custom banners between 14 and 18 inches. I design banners and sell banners myself, as opposed to taking in a lot of custom orders. The BN20, there is a market for banners on the BN20, and I did a video. If you go back, hey, 16 watching, I did a video a little bit further back, and it only took me 15 minutes to do a 4-foot banner. Well, 40 inches, but technically I could have went. So yeah, there's a market for banners that size, absolutely. Trade show people, crafters that don't do printing, they love to have banners at the front of their tables. Guys, join crafting groups. Greg will attest to this. You join these crafting groups that don't print, guys, go in there and start showing off your work. Go in there and tell them what you could do. Look, you just made this for a crafter's table. They love that size. They love 4-foot banners. So an 18, 19-inch banner by 4 feet is awesome, or even longer, because you can go longer. But, you know, it covers the front of a table, a card table, very easy. And people, you know, they love it. And, you know, you can get between $4 or $7 a square foot on that. It's not bad. Usually I throw in a few stickers of their designs when I do banners. I do that for almost every job. Every time I do a banner job, I throw in free stickers of their logos, and then I'll put a note and say, if you need any of these, just contact me again, because you know, everyone likes to have product decals. Like when I go to car shows or anything, you know, you just lay the stickers down on my trucks, and then people take them, and then your name and your advertisements on them. So do that. Give away free stickers all the time. It's pennies, you know, and you get one job back. It'll pay for a year of free stickers, you know. I just got ours delivered. Any tips on anything come to mind when setting up? Yes. So anything odd you had to deal with. Let me tell you, make sure you pick the right ink when you're setting up that printer. Watch videos, okay? There's setup videos. Watch those videos. You have to. I know the manual's hard, but the BN20 is easy to set up. And never be afraid to shake your inks. If it ever tells you to shake them, pull them out. You don't turn it off. Leave it on. Shake them a little bit. Put them back in, one at a time. If it tells me shake magenta, I shake them all. So setting it up, make sure you select the right inks, because if you select the wrong inks, you're going to have some problems. You're going to have to call tech, and they got to do some programming. I heard it's a hassle. Other than that, set up your blade properly. Set your max speed on your blade 15. If you set your blade properly, 65 on the pressure is normal. And I cut HTV, Brightline, 236, and color print. Pressure was like 125. But that was a 45 degree. I think I have a 45 in there. I could have a 60. I'm not sure. I don't remember now. I did a bunch of videos about the blades, and if you look at my videos, you'll see the blades links to those blades that work great are in the links. So you're welcome. You're welcome. If I print full black with the BN20, I wait a few hours before I cut them, and that works for me. Yeah, Robert. A lot of new people don't know. They'll learn that as we did, right? So full coverage on vinyl. If you're doing full coverage black, like I just showed you on these decals, the black is the worst. If you're doing 100% coverage, I mean, if you're doing a real deep black, or even RGB zeros, you're doing black, it's going to lay heavy. And I think US, pre-press US, that one does real heavy, and the True Rich Color 3 or whatever, that one's real heavy. So, yeah, you can't laminate. That's what any EcoSolve printer that doesn't have a well enough dryer takes forever. You still got to outgas even on some of the higher end ones. So, but the BN20, I noticed when I don't need heavy coverage, like when I do my product giveaways, I just use the standard profiles. So they're pretty much dry. You could tell the ink's not laying on them, because when I use like True Color 3, I'm gonna get it right one of these days. You could see it looks heavy. It's like a layer of vinyl on top of it. You run your finger, boom, it comes off. So yeah, leaving it sit is good advice too. Because who wants to spend 15, 20 minutes printing a big job and wasting that money? It's printing is money. Printing is like printing money. So, you can do other things while you're printing that. You can print more stuff. You can work on other projects. And then when that's done, I mean, I guess the rule of thumb is that you want to wait 24 hours overnight with your prints. I mean, sometimes we don't. I can't. Banners, I've only done a few on there. I haven't done it many. They were dry because it took 15 minutes to print it. They were dry to touch. I was working with the banners right away because I'm not laminating them. I'm just grommeting them. If you're careful with them, the trimmer that I use in my videos, it didn't mark them up, and it was fine. So I mean, you definitely can print banners and get them out the same day. I would not even worry about that. You could print and get most of your work out the same day from the BN20. I do it. I've done it. I have it. I'm not just some salesman telling you this and that. I do it. And let it sit. If you're going to roll stuff up, you got to let it sit, because if it's too heavy, it's gonna track on the roller after you roll it up. And then when your customer rolls it, they're going to see it, and you're gonna be like, oh, this quality is crap, But yeah, let it dry. Let it outgas and dry. You don't have to worry about outgassing. You just got to let it dry, unless you're going to laminate. Then you got to worry about outgassing. So yeah, that's pretty much that. HTV is fine on the BN20. It's just gloss vinyl out. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to laminate, you definitely got to outgas it. But this is something that's been around for any solvent printer for years. Outgassing is nothing new or old. I mean, it's a thing with solvent printers. I work for a really big commercial sign company. We do big signs, guys. We do pylons. I mean, I'm a graphic designer. I design pylons and monument signs and channel letters all day long. That's what I do. And we deal with signs, even on Panaflex, like huge. We have a big printer. We print directly on everything now. But even with the large prints, you can lam a lot of that. Here's trade secrets. You can lam a lot of that stuff. You're going to get silvering on UV prints a lot, but the sun will dry up. The saying in my shop is, we can't see it from our house. It's funny, but it's true. You're going to put those big signs up 30, 40 feet in the air. No one is going to see anything going on with that print. The outgassing sucks if you do it too early, because it will bubble a lot. What outgassing is, it's trapped air released inside the lamp, and it could be bad. It could create a lot of problems. But if you're not letting it completely outgas, a lot of it will evaporate and burn in with the sun. It's true. It's going to happen, and that's only if you're doing big solid coverage stuff. If you got a lot of open areas in there, you're fine. Don't worry about it. But you work for a big commercial site, you're going to do it right. You're not going to cut corners like that, because you don't want to blow $5,000 install. Would a heat gun or hair dryer be advantage to expedite outgassing? I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to say the heat helps, yes, but if you're far away, you don't want to be too close, because put your hand on a table and put a heat gun 2 feet away, and then infrared that. Your hand's going to reach over 150 degrees easy. So by putting direct heat too fast on that print, you're going to break down the pigment of the ink on the material, and it could definitely hurt the longevity of that print. It's true. I mean, it's just, have I done it? I've done it with heat, like, just like far away, but go ahead, do some tests, print some stuff yourself and print it. What does print do to vinyl? It releases it, right? It breaks down the adhesive. So you think about when you're taking a wrap off a car. If you're going to heat up the vinyl on the car, you heat it to stretch it to put it on. Once it's applied, and it makes the vinyl pliable. You heat it up next time. Now you're going to break down the adhesive, and it's not going to stay on well. So if you're going to heat it up too much before you send it out, you could hurt the adhesive on it. You know what I mean? You could hurt that. Will it work? It could. And different vinyls may react differently. So there might be a good vinyl out there that has good adhesive, like gray adhesive, air release vinyl Control-Tec, which is the best stuff. When you're doing wraps, that stuff probably can handle it better. But not everyday stuff we use. The 3164, all the Orcals, the Arlons, the general formulation stuff, all that low end calendar print vinyl is cheap, guys. It's the bare bottom of the bucket vinyl. But as home printers, we love it because we can make a lot of money on it. Those are cheap for a reason. There's a lot of reasons why they're cheap. It's just true. If you print on Control-Tec every day, you wouldn't want to go back to anything else. That's what we mostly print off at work. There was some Arlon stuff that they tried to pull off as a Control-Tec, but it sucked big time. It was terrible. But Control-Tec 3M was just the best to print on. So once you do that and you work with that stuff, man, you really don't want to go back to anything else. So, but yeah, can it work with a heat gun? Yeah. Hey, Mike, thanks for stopping in. Oh, you watching the Warriors? Yep. Well, I hope they win for you. It wasn't so good for the Bulls last few games, so that's it for us. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, Mike. Mike's one of my supporters. Look at that little logo icon next to Mike's name. That's because Mike joined my channel. He's joined my membership, and if you guys haven't joined it, I know I'm new to getting stuff done, but there'll be some members only stuff that I can do. When I say members only, I'm not gonna take away from everybody, but with those memberships like that, people can request special videos, one-on-one videos where I could do something specifically for them, and I'll post it in the members' videos because they're paying extra to be a member, and they're supporting me, which you don't have to. You don't have to, but I totally appreciate it, and I've got a few now, and I appreciate that. And Mike was my first one, and he always supports me. And Mike, go to Mike's channel. He's starting out. He's got a great shop, and he's getting up there. His content will start booming, and then join his channel. So, but like, subscribe. Anybody that's in this channel that have YouTube, just network and subscribe to everybody. We all need the help. The algorithms love thumbs up, and they love all the support from everybody. And again, if nobody's hit that thumbs up, hit it. We got 18 people watching. So what else? Yeah. So anyways, going back to the heat gun, Chris, it'll work, but like I said, don't get too close. You really don't want to heat it too fast. You know what I mean? The BN20 doesn't. Man, that's one of the only things that I really, the non-adjustable heat on the BN20 could be so much better with a better heating element. You know what I mean? It could be so much better, but they don't want it better because then it'll take away from some of the other printers, the 300 series. People love those. The 300 with eyes, or man, those things are still kicking it. There's like iron horses, man. I like the Roland, some of the larger ones that they've been around forever. I mean, they do well. But after I go latex, I don't think I can ever use. I don't think I can leave a latex for my primary printing. If you know how to work with profiles and how to work, the PMS charts, you can get what you need out of the latex. It's not going to be as bright because the droplet size is smaller on those Rolands. On the BN20, it's a special head. It's prints beautiful. But the fact that you could take something out of that printer and start working with it, send it out instantly, no scratching, and really good scratch without lamb. So latex is great. But it's not practical for a lot of people that have small shops. Pretty much anybody that bought a BN20, they're working out of their home or their garage, and that's awesome. Or a small office. You can't throw. Look at the latex next to the BN20, guys. It's like 4 times, 5 times the size. And then you got to have a 220 hookup. BN20 you don't. So the BN20 is just great for a small person operating in their office. I don't like those generic Prism jets or the other ones, those rebranded ones. They're just generic to me. I don't know. People have a lot of bad results with them. Yeah, no doubt, Chris. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. The BN20 master. I'm definitely not the master. Derek did some great BN20 videos back in the day, and then he grew out of this so fast, moved up. He's at the top now. So, I think Derek's starting to offer media for sale too. I saw that in a couple recent videos. Yeah, Chris, are you going first level? Cause mine's in the basement. Look where mine's at. I hired two movers, and me and my son still had to help him. But the printer had to go vertical to get down my stairs, cause we have the stairs go, and then the stairs upstairs breaks into the above the stairs. So it was interesting to get it down here. So like I always joke around with my wife, if we ever move and sell the house, we're gonna bury the printer in the back corner somewhere, concrete, bury it in, and tell them we don't know it was, or we just build something and make it look like a bar and turn it into a bar, because it's never going upstairs again. It's gonna it was born here, and it's staying here. So the problem is I hope it lasts forever. Well, if it doesn't last forever, then I'll have no problem taking as much off as, because it's a heavy son of a gun. Man, I mean, me and my sons lifted no problem with extra people, but you can't. That thing's a monster. That's why it's not practical for people to have in small rooms. If you got a house, like if my wife would have let me have it in my office, oh, I'd have loved it. But I didn't want it anywhere but my basement. If I couldn't get it in the basement, honest to God, I wouldn't have kept it, because my old shop was in the garage, and my new garage, I have 3-car garage, but I have a couple hot rods in my garage. I don't want it to be for my printing anymore. So if it wasn't going to fit down here, I was going to resort to a small. Even the bigger Rolands would have been easier because they're the size. The latex is just like grabbing a refrigerator. You know what I mean? It's a refrigerator. So it barely got down here. But to go bring it back up, you'd have to secure it, move the head, take the inks out, I think, from what I read. But I hope it does last forever. I've only had one problem with it since in a year and a half. I had in the previous videos, only because it told me I had magenta left and I didn't. So never run your inks down under 10 milliliter, guys. I did that with the yellow and it was fine. But like when I put a new magenta in, it was running but not printing. So I used like 50 milliliters, but technically I didn't, because the printer thought it was printing. So when I get down to 10 milliliters, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 60 left. You know what I mean? So not the case with the BN20. When I brought that down here, I brought it down by myself. Actually, I didn't. My son helped me, but I could have. If he was busy, I could have. We just took the inks out because it was really bulky. It has the 440s in there, so it's like huge bulkiness. But I put it on a rolling cart. If you guys are in the market and you weren't sure about buying that stand, don't waste your money on that stupid stand. I bought a stand for the Graphtec 15 years ago. I could have put it on a rolling cart. I like everything on rolling carts. The latex rolls, I like it. So the cart that I have the BN20 on, I use it for media, inks, cleaning supplies, so everything's underneath in there. And when I need to get it to the sides or the back, I load everything from the front. I just roll it out. It's really nice. It doesn't shake and move around. I paid $100 for that cart. It's one of those good Rubbermaid ones. And if you look at top, you see the white. I'm pointing at the screen. If you see the white on top, that's a little pallet, because I broke my back, my neck. I have huge problems. I don't want to bend down at all. So I made it perfect height, so when I stand over there, I don't have to bend down ever to clean, do anything in there. Well, when I clean, I sit in the chair. But it's sitting on a pallet that's like 6 inches high that I built to lift it up. So that was perfect. Let me get some comments going here. Adjusting frames. How is the profit margin in the BN20? I can't really comment on the profit margin. It's there. No matter what you do, you're going to make money on it, because you're printing, let's say you're printing 20 inches by, or just 2 by 2 or 18 by 2, whatever your printing is. Sell that work for like $8 a square foot. If it's just decals. I have minimum. I won't sell a stupid label job for 20 under $25. I just won't. So if they want something small, I have no problem doing it. But it's no matter what, it's gonna be a minimum of $20, $25, and then I'll print where I find a profit margin on. But yeah, 100% profit margin. But I use it mostly for my product labeling for my stuff. I have a CNC. I make custom RC parts, and I do a lot of banners. So I always give free stickers with all my jobs, all promotional jobs. I give free stuff. So for me, it's more of a tool that I include with work. So, but BN20 profit margin is just like any printer. The profit margin's there, and the media is cheap. Like that roll of 20 by 50 yard Oracal, what is it, 60 something dollars? Oh my God, 2 jobs, under 4 feet. You're gonna make that money. So guess what? You got 58 feet. I mean, come on. If you're not making money, and you're just having fun like me, I have fun too. Most of my money's on the latex and my CNC. So, the best practice is to allow the vinyl to outgas for as long as you can to afford it. Yep, don't disagree with that. Chris says, I don't have a basement. Yes, resourcing movers. It's not light by any means. And just hire. I paid the guys $120 for 15 minutes to move it. It's better than trying to move it with your son, like me. My son's 6'4". He's a huge football player. He's a junior in high school. So I had no problem asking for him to help. But, you know, if it was just me and him with the printer, what if we dropped it? I probably would get mad at him, right? I have so much pride, I'd probably blame him. I mean, I would get mad at both of us. But, you know, when one person like, oh, you're both going to crash and burn. So I just said I didn't want to do it. Plus, my back hurt. I can't. I'm not really able to lift that much. Otherwise, I'll break and fall down and break, and then I got to call the ambulance because there's a fat guy laying on the stairs. So, anyways, yeah, hire a mover, pay $100 for 15 minutes, do it the right way. You see the way those guys move refrigerators by themselves? They put the strap, and they just move them like it's nothing. So let a professional do it. It's worth it. And then don't do electrical by yourself. Hire an electrician. I'm in electrical union. I didn't do it, but I had somebody from work do it. So run your electric the right way. I'm in the basement, so it's done the right way to code. And, you know, save yourself from having hassle in the future. The DX7 head in the BN20 is awesome. Yeah, it's supposed to be a real special head, man. It prints beautiful. Guys, I love the printing on the BN20. I love it. Well, as soon as you start missing bars on your test, you see it, though. You definitely see it. You see the horizontal banding easily. So I do a test print every day, and I'll just run a couple of the print. You know, the ink's not expensive on it. So I run test prints every day, even if I'm not going to print. I run a small job. I have a job in the queue that runs all the colors evenly. So there's like bars, and it's almost like a test print from Roland, but it's just a small version of something I created with gradients, bars. We call them densitometer dots. So I have a print that I do every day. So I pull out my micrometer, you know, or not my micrometer, my densitometer, and I'll get in there, check the density levels and everything, and then I can see if there's anything wrong with it. I've been in printing for 25 years, and commercial printing. So I'll do that, and if I see something, I can tell right away with this one print I have if there's an issue with one of the ink jets, because it'll show. So do a test print every day. I usually only do the normal. If you start using the medium or even the heavy, then you just enter a wormhole of 20 cleanings because it just floods. And especially if you haven't changed your cap station. Change your cap station every 6 months. But if you haven't changed it, it's, you know, and ink starts to dry up in the lines, then it has trouble draining through the cap station. I'm not sure if a lot of people understand the problem when people say change your cap station. The cap station has the foam in there that holds the ink. Well, if the ink can't drain out of the cap station through the lines that go to your waste box, it backs up into the capping station, and the fluid gets on your heads, and it floods out the heads. So that's why when people show prints and they're all messed up, it's because the head's being flooded by the solution, the cleaning, and all the ink and everything else. So change your capping stations every 6 months, even if you're only running it once or twice a week, because that means your ink is just sitting and drying in the cap station. And don't just change the station. It's like $115 or something. Change the cap and the lines. It's the lines you mostly got to worry about, because if it clogs up and it dries up, it's like, you know, an artery in your heart. It's going to stop allowing passage of the ink, and it's going to back up or drain slower in your cap station. You'll have problems. So make sure that's clean. You can always look at it when you do a maintenance, a regular maintenance. Some of you guys know you already have it, and you're doing maintenance, and you know how you throw solution in the cap station. Keep an eye on how fast it drains down. You know it's not going to drain mostly until it does its cycle, but you could still see it seeping in. Okay, when you start not seeing it seeping in, that means your cap station could be flooding. Oh, my mouth is dry. I'm talking nonstop. It's not expensive if you price your jobs correctly. Nope, not at all. If you listen, let's not lie here. We're flooding the industry with stickers. You guys know that. I mean, come on. Because of COVID, so many people start buying printers. So there's enough money for everybody. There really is. But I think what people get too hung up on is, don't be jealous of anybody else getting the work. If you're going on other people's channels and you're going on Instagram or TikTok and you're seeing all these people producing and you're like, why the F am I not making this money? They're putting in the work, guys. So evaluate yourself. Don't compete with them. Just compete with yourself. The next day be better. Set goals. Set profit goals weekly. Work against yourself. Those people are doing well because they're putting in the work. And maybe they're paying for advertisement too, because that always helps. If you sell on Etsy and you don't pay for the advertising, you sell shit numbers. Let's be serious. They want you to pay for advertising. Every time I get a sale and they're like, "Oh, this is an off-site Etsy ad." Well, I didn't pay for that, but I wouldn't have got the sale otherwise. So, but don't look at these other people, these other channels, and be jealous at all, guys. Just work harder. Just use them to motivate. Use them as a tool to help you, because there's enough money for all of us. But during COVID, man, I have seen this market flooded. And it's like in the sign business, for years, you're going to have a lot of small mom and pop shops that undercut jobs. And they're always going to be there. And they're there now. We're all competing against those people. The problem is, stay true to yourself and your customers. And don't even be afraid to talk to your customers about it and be like, hey, I know John down the street does decals, but I'm going to tell you right now, John doesn't care about you like I do. You're coming to me for a reason, and my prices are competitive, but you're always going to get top-notch quality because I'm always going to put your work, as my quality. That's how I look at my work from people. Am I perfect? No. Do I screw up jobs? No. I've sent out stuff I shouldn't have a couple times, realizing it. I could have done better. But we're our worst critic when we're doing our printing and our work. All of us, you guys, we're our worst critic, and be that critic, because that's why companies have proofreaders. We miss a lot of stuff. What am I doing wrong? Well, you're not going to look at that job like the customer is. The customer is paying for it, so they're going to nitpick every little thing they see wrong. I don't get that a lot. I get complaints from people that did something the wrong way and they shouldn't have done it, and I'll replace it because the profit margin is still there. You could reprint it 3 times and still make money, but you don't want to because then you lose money. But I don't like to argue with my customer. One time I did get into it with somebody, and it wasn't my fault at all. I can't read people's minds. I ended up doing the job, and I ended up doing it twice myself because I screwed it up my perf cuts. I wasn't paying attention. I had the wrong setting, and it was cutting them all out. So I print like 8 feet worth of stickers, and then I went to perf them on my Suma, and they all was starting to cut out, and you can't save it. You're done. I stepped away for a minute, and it doesn't cut the decal all the way out in the first run. It'll go horizontal lines, then go vertical up and down, and then all of a sudden you get to the first one where it's going to do the vertical or horizontal. Boom, they start falling out. You can't save it, so you have to print it up again or hand cut. I'm not going to do that crap. So, but yeah, be your worst critic. Watch your work. There's enough money for everybody. Keep your prices right. If your customer comes back and says, "Oh, hey, I love your work and the price was good, but I did find somebody that will do it for cheaper," and sometimes it's like $5 cheap. Go to them. Listen, test everybody else out, and if you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of them, or not, come back. I mean, it's a free market. You can't force people to go in. Stay with you. It's up to you to keep them. If assure them the more they buy, they keep coming with you. You're going to give them discounts in time. You can't offer every one-off job a discount. You can't. We just can't do that. We have to make money on this. It's not worth it. When people ask me for better pricing, I say, listen, my pricing right now is going to be what everyone's going to give you right now. But you keep coming back to me, then you're going to see the price breaks. And then raise your quantities. You're always going to get a break on that. Don't come to me with 100 sticker jobs you know, and think that we're both going to make money on this. We're not. It's not. It's just uses up time, you know. Cool, cool. Oh, Speedy, one of the best moves you made. Yeah, glad you bit the bullet on that one. Great machine. I didn't buy mine new, guys. I was offered it as it was a demo, and I was offered as a big discount, not to promote it, not to do anything. So, my channel's doing well, and I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm just what I like to call as your honest reviewer or helper, because I have nothing to gain or lose except subscribers. And it's not like I'm making big bucks on it. I do make a kickback on it for the affiliate links. Everything adds up, but I'm never going to sell out to anybody saying, okay, you're going to only use me, get rid of your other printers or media. I'm never going to do that. See this box here? If you weren't here, somebody sent me this to do a review. It's a light pad, and I was going to use it for doing weeding with HTV. With the bright line, you could see the cut line's easier with it on. It's cool. But there'll be a video on that, unboxing and review on that. So I do get people that email me all the time that want me to do open boxing reviews, and I don't have a problem doing it, but it has to be some sort of connection to what I do on my channel. I'm not going to review, Barbie toothbrushes. I'll let my daughter do that. I'm not going to, I have people ask me to do lamps. If it's an LED lamp, it has something to do with laser, yeah. But I'm not going to, go pull out a lava lamp. I'm not going to open box lava lamp. You know what I mean? So, I try to keep my channel. My channel is about printing and signs. I don't do enough CNC. I get people ask me to do more CNC stuff because I feel like the majority of my audience now is relating to printing stuff. So the CNC I've been doing for years, guys, long time. I don't even know how long. And I make a lot of RC parts. I make a lot of RC parts, and I've done some signs. Let me get back here. I'm gonna read here. BN20 ink does wear off with abrasion versus latex. Have you tried to spray lamb? I've used frog juice in the past. I'm not a big fan of any sprayed lamb unless you put it on a big sign and you either forgot to lamb it or the customer says, I want lamb now. Then you could spray it. You could coat it. But I don't even lamb a lot of stuff I do. All right, so but the spray lamb works. You just let it dry again. So you gotta let it outgas and then dry. We have a 7-year-old BN20 still going strong. Yeah, see, mine is like 5 years old too, right? So they're great, man. If you do the maintenance, whenever it tells you to do the maintenance, do it. And if it doesn't tell you 1 week, do it anyways. Get in the habit of doing it every week. The maintenance around the ink cap station on the head. Look at the pictures. Don't get it directly on the head itself, but around the edges where it seals on the cap station, you want to keep that clean. Because if you let it build up, then it doesn't properly seat on the capping station. It's got a rubber baffle, right? So it covers it, it seals it. That's just how it works. So if you don't keep that clean, the ink eventually dries up. It's going to not allow it to seal all the way in, and that's where you start having problems. So if you do your maintenance in 7 years, look at that. Speedy has 7-year-old. That's amazing. But I've heard people that from 10 years are still going. 18 hours a day. Wow, that's amazing. Stickers on the machine, and you're right, people are cheap. So yeah, I don't like perf cutting on there because the dust from the perf cutting. Even if you cut vinyl too deep, you can get dust. But perf cutting creates a lot of dust. I see people say it's not a problem for them, maybe on larger Rolands, but I don't know, man. I don't like the idea of perf cutting on this BN20. Can you do it? Yeah, I've done videos on it. It's painfully slow anyway, these guys. You don't want to perf cut it. I hate just cutting regular vinyl. I do contour cutting on it. That's it. But it's painfully slow with the cutting. I was cutting earlier, by the way. That little bit of 10 inches you see sticking out, that was just test cuts. I don't even know how long it took. Probably 20 minutes. Stupid slow. But get a separate cutter, and you don't have to worry about that anyway. So forget everything I said if you have a separate cutter. Yeah, someone wants 100. I tell them 50. Yeah, Mike, you're right. I mean, you can't, right? We can't do it for less than that, man. It's not worth our time. And like I open up. I have one guy. I sell 35 cents a decal. He does. I do him because he has a private label line of stuff he makes, and I love doing his work. But I have to have a medium. A minimum. I have to. We have to. Otherwise, it's just not worth my time. But on the BN20, I always have the medium in there that I could run. Latex, I mostly have banner in there 90% of the time. Thanks, Speedy. I appreciate it. You know, my content is just coming from my thought. Guys, I started a live tonight. I am not scripting anything. I'm sitting here, and that's it. Everything is coming to thought. So that's just how I am. I'm a bad planner, anyways. Sometimes I know what I want to talk about. Like I did a live not too long ago. I wrote some notes on there, and I got done with the video. You know what? I didn't say shit that was on this sticky note. I didn't say nothing, and I got mad at myself. Like I'm gonna do another live just for this. Well, that was 2 months ago. I haven't done a live. Leaning heavy on getting BN20. Get it. Your content has been helpful. I appreciate that. You know, I have nothing to gain or lose by you buying one. I can just tell you, I like it. This machine is about 5 years old. It prints flawless. When I got it, I had to do a lot of cleaning and do some stuff, but that was it. Most of these printers come down to the capping state. So I'm going to just tell you guys, for you new people that don't know yet. So what comes down to the problem on the BN20 is the basic maintenance, and don't be afraid of it. If you don't have it yet, the latex doesn't have half of that, but literally maintenance takes 5 minutes of your time. You know, take your time, and you can do better. It's up to you. I don't mind doing it. You get a swab. You swab around the ink head like it tells you. You clean around the capping station. You wipe clean the wipers off, and then you just clean all the dust off. Guys, we're talking 5 minutes. You have about 30 minutes. It says they leave the head out before you have issues. I've never pushed it more than 10 minutes. But I've really cleaned. Mine is spotless inside. It was a demo floor model. So they used it quite a bit, but then it sat a lot of times in between using. So, you know, it had a lot of issues when I first got it. But I got it going, and I love it. So, yeah, if you're looking at one, you know, there's a reason you're looking at it, right? The BN20A is priced right, like 55 and a few hundred for shipping. You're printing commercial grade signs, no doubt about it. If you got the more space, move up, spend a couple more thousand, and get a bigger printer. Even a used, you know, 300Is or V's, the G's, whatever you know you like. But I like it because it replaced my LX610. I only have, I'll be honest, I only have it because one of my subscribers watches my videos, and they have a company, they demoed it, and maybe they were selling it, I don't know. And they offered me a great, I couldn't pass it up. And even if it didn't work, I couldn't pass it up. And I'm like, okay. They did not ask me to promote it. They did not ask me to sell it. They just told me, here, put it on your channel. You like to do equipment. Like a huge smile on my face. Yeah, I like to do equipment. You know, do I want to spend any more money? No, I really don't want to. But I had the LX610. So when I got it, LX610 went bye-bye. And the LX610 was just my product. I didn't make any money off of that. It was my product decal machine. That's what it did. Print, cut, it was perfect. Great for small runs. If people wanted to make money, you could. But the media for label printing is stupid, ridiculous, high. And wait time, like if you're ordering from a Hickman, it takes sometimes 2-3 weeks. Ridiculous. So I couldn't be happier to get rid of it when I got to BN20. And honestly, if that deal fell before that, I would have never had the Epson or the LX610. Because the Epson printed awesome. The BN20 prints just like the Epson. That thing printed great too. Let me try to get caught up here. How does the HT feel on the shirts? Well, it depends on which one you're using. Mad Drugga. HTV Caesar color print, the soft, all those are better to print large. I just did a video. Those are better to print larger area and not feel crunchy. I use a Brightline G-Flex 236. I love that stuff for the weeding, but it's not great for big because it feels heavy and thick. But it's great for smaller coverage. I did a video. Look at my last video. It's great for smaller prints. If you're going to do text with patterns in it, it's great. And the ecosolvent prints better so far. I know. The ecosolvent better print anyways, but it looks like the ink is holding off better than my latex. If any shirt lasts more than 12 times in the washer, I'm happy. Shit, over 10 times, I'm happy. Really. I mean, I have like 80 shirts. If I wash 12 times, that means I'm wearing shirts too many times a week. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't like throwing away my shirts. Like, I think Goon Life mentioned he only wears a shirt once or twice and throws them out. Like, I'm not that bad because I do like a new shirt feel. Always like the way, because I'm a fat guy, you know, like new shirts feel nice and crisp. After I wash them, it feel like now it feels like static cling on me, you know. I don't like that. So, but the HTV Caesar soft stuff is better for printing larger coverage, and I'm going to stand by my Brightline stuff for the smaller stuff. I do like it, but it is heavier, thicker. But I like it. I love weeding it because it releases way easier, and you could see the cut lines easier than you do with a Caesar. All right, moving on. Would you do a Graphtec review on what? Well, I have a Graphtec 24-inch for over 16 years now. A 3000 MK2 with registration mark. I love it. The only thing I literally replaced 3 months ago, I think, was the pinch rollers. It's been flawless. I can't get rid of it. It's not even worth selling for a couple $100 because it's worth more keeping. So everything I printed on my Epson, I would contour cut on the Graphtec. So would I do a review on the Graphtec? Actually, we have Graphtec, I think a 9000 or 8000, FC 8000 or 9000 at work. Love it because the perf cutting is really good on that. I really wanted the Suma with the tangential cutter. I really did. But my boy Jose didn't have a good outcome with his, and he returned it and got a 9000, and he's never looking back. So my next purchase for cutters will be a 30-inch Graphtec. If I had to buy it, I'm not doing it anytime soon. But when I do it, it's going to be a 30-inch because I don't need to cut 54-inch. I'm going to keep the Suma to cut anything large, but I'm going to cut on 30-inch media, and because I can keep more of a variety of that stuff on hand than the 54. And not only that, when I buy a 54-inch media, I'll cut it down, right? I'll cut down 20 off of it. Whatever's left, I'll use it for the latex. So I'm buying one roll of vinyl, 54-inch vinyl, and I'll cut it down. Well, I already did with my HP Prime. I cut 20 off for the BN20, and then the rest, 33 or 4, whatever was left, for the latex. So that's how I'm doing it. So if I ever do buy the 30-inch cutter, I'm going to make sure that I cut it so it fits it, and then I have media for both printers, and I'll just have a better stock because I don't really like to hold on vinyl too long because the adhesive does break down. It would be good in my basement because low humidity levels, but you don't want it too low. It's in between, and my basement it goes, it's like 65, 67 all year round down here. Actually, I have the vents on the top here close up. My wife should come down and opens them up so once in a while. She's like, it's cold. No, it's perfect. What's going on, Eddie? Hit that like button, guys. How come there's only 2 of you hitting that like button? And there's been like 18, 20 people. Come on. I do it for all you guys. Let me read some comments here. Mike says, where I wear my shop shirts all the time and I wash every week. And they ask me about tears. Yeah. Mike, you run your shop as a business there. I'm the print house, but I don't run my business as the print house here. I own a website called ChicagoDecals.com. It's a pretty premium site. I've had it for like 20 years, and I was competing with another site. So I'm just starting to rebuild on that for my actual business site. It's ChicagoDecals.com. That's a site. There's nothing there. It's not going to even. I don't even know where it's directing to. But I don't sell my business as the print house. This is obviously just my YouTube thing, reviews and showing off work that I'm doing. But it's not my selling. But Mike's videos. Mike does great videos. Go visit Mike's channel. He's selling his business through his channel. So, market yourself like he does. He's got his name everywhere, and it looks really nice. It's professional at his garage. So, definitely advertising shirts. I've never even made a The Print House shirt. I haven't. All the shirts I made, nothing. I've never made a The Print House shirt. It's weird. I made some stickers. That's about it. Yeah, this started. I never get the cracking with my Brightline, just peeling. I've seen the peeling. What peels on the Brightline G36, 236, is G-Flex 236. After I think I had one shirt, it definitely was washed about 28 times. I'm not counting. I'm just guesstimating. It releases from the adhesive on the back of it. It will crack like Mike says, but it would release and leave the adhesive on. The color would fade when there was wrinkle in the same spots they wrinkle when they wash, but it was peeling from the adhesive. So, but again, that was from the latex. I can't wait to do the ones that I'm on like 12, 13 washes from the Eco because the colors are bright on the Eco. That's why I think the BN20 is this machine right here, guys, is the best HTV printer machine out there. because it's smaller. You're not using a big Roland, big Cmyk, or anything like that, wasting your time on little media, because nobody usually buys HTV over 20 inches. If you do, it's because you're selling a lot. But I'm mostly using 15 or 20. That's it. So you're not going to waste a big printer running 15, 20. But that BN20 is the best for HTV printing and cutting. You print, you cut one time. If you got to let it dry, if it's too heavy, set a time in between, you're fine. That's what makes it great. I print on the latex and take it out and cut on the Suma. But guys, really, it's a process still. Who gave me a thumbs down? Jerk. I just refreshed. I guess I had 12 likes. It didn't refresh. But whoever gave me a thumbs down, you're mean. I never thumbs down anybody. Why would you even thumbs down anyways? At least he came here, right? Thumbs down, I heard, doesn't hurt you. So I'm not all flustered on it. But I just looked at the thing and said 92%. What? All right. So color image follow for the post. Follow from. Oh, okay. 30-inch roll plotter. Yeah, if you get the Roland plotter, you can print and cut right from your VersaWorks. Yeah, if you got a Roland cutter, with your BN20, man, you got the best setup right now. Because you're really not gonna. The only thing you're gonna cut on your BN20 is HTV stuff. Now, if you got a lot of HTV cutting, small stuff, cut them on your other cutter too, because small cuts aren't the greatest on the BN20. It uses a screw that goes up and down. That's how the BN20 works. That's why it sucks so slow. But it's good for large cuts in solid, one motion. Circles, big contour cuts. That's it. It's good for that because once it goes down, it cuts and goes up. It's terrible for cutting out text for vinyl. Can it be done? Yeah, it's terrible. Even small text is not that great. My Graphtec, after all these years, is still killing it on small 1/8-inch text easy. And I don't do that anymore if I need to because I hate weeding. My days of making vinyl stickers like that for people are over. They've been over for a long time. For quality setting on VersaWorks, what media type do you use? Well, for the HTV, I'm using the textile one. I print all my HTV, no matter what, 1440 by 720 or 1080. Always. And I always do bidirectional. It takes too long if you're doing unidirectional. That's only if you're using the highest setting. It's on the other computer. I could go look and tell you, but I use the generic profiles for a lot of them. When I first got it, I was doing a test of everything. I like the True Rich Color 3 and US Prepress US for real heavy, or max density too. If you're going to do a backlit sign or something where you need light, vinyl, it's going to be on attached to Lexan. The max density, I use those, but I only use a couple different medias. I don't have profiles for those medias even in there. I'm just using standard profiles that came with it. But go take a day and print something that it's small, and just print all the profiles, print all the settings, see what you like. But just because one light looks better in this one doesn't mean it's going to look better in this other one. So sometimes when I'm doing a bigger jobs, I'll do a small test print to see if I like it, because you don't want to do a big long one and then it's not heavy enough or something. You know what I mean? So, but what channel name? For what channel? I'm not sure what you mean. How's the label quality print on a BN20? Label quality? Well, you're printing vinyl quality, commercial grade vinyl quality, and the BN20 is pretty high resolution. That thing prints phenomenal gradients. Phenomenal. Not on Green Star media. That stuff, there's it's like the plasticizer, whatever's on the media. It's terrible. The gradients look really bad on Green Star media. I mean, really bad. I mean, no doubt about it. Terrible. The worst. You know what I mean? But on the Oracle stuff that I use, the 3164 or the 5 or even the 3651, prints phenomenal. The BN20 is phenomenal printer, man. It's a little slow. It's 300 millimeter per second printing speed, and that's it. That's, but you knew that before you bought it, so why is it a shocker? I printed a 40-inch banner in 15 minutes, guys. You're still going to make money even if you did a banner. So don't worry about it. These printers have been around for a long time, and there's a lot of people. The only time people don't like them anymore is because they moved up to something else greater and bigger, and of course, it doesn't make sense for them anymore. You know. Yeah, Jenny Witch. Oh, Garage Print Shop channel. Oh, you're talking about Mike NovaWorks, right above you. Him, who I was talking about. Go check out NovaWorks. He doesn't get enough credit on his channel. He's really good content. He does lasers like me, but better because he takes time doing them. I don't. But he's got a lot of great content for printing, cutting, banners, printing, signs, CNCing. I think he's got Shapeoko or X-Carve or something, Mike. I'm not sure. I have more of a commercial grade router. It's a little different. But those work. You could still do stuff on those. I've done a lot of push-through letters at home. I've cut. I even made stuff for my work sometimes when our equipment was down. I've printed for my work. I've done videos for there too. But go check out NovaWorks channel. Really good channel. Give him some subs. He's got a lot of content, a lot of videos too. So should be getting up there. Sticker. What about stickers quality settings? Well, first of all, if you got to be in 20, print out PMS charts with RGB and CMYK and some profiles, different profiles. Base your spot colors off of your PMS chart colors, no matter what. Print those out because you, like if you get a customer that sends you, oh, I need, a certain red or match 3M vinyl, match a 36 blue or 33 red, find where that looks like on your PMS chart that you printed so your printer prints that. Never guarantee 100% match. I never guarantee that for anything because you will have a variable. And if you print the same job 2 months from now from that customer, chances are it's not going to match. It really doesn't. And everything is a reason for that. The humidity, the temperatures, your inks changed. Everything's different. So, no problem, Mike. Is a 4-year vinyl cutter a good deal? Is a 4-year vinyl cutter a good deal? YouTube Wizard, explain that a little bit more what you mean. Is a 4-year vinyl cutter a good deal? I'm not really sure what that means. A 4-year-old vinyl cutter? My Graphtec is over 15 years. I bought that 05, 06? Crap, it's maybe older than I think. Oh, how long have I been on for? I don't even know. What else is going on tonight? Is anybody else live that hour and 17 minutes? Right. Are you saying is a 4-year-old vinyl cutter a good deal? Well, it depends on what the price is. What kind of cutter? When it comes to cutters, guys, I've always kind of steered away from generic cutters. I don't like non-servo motor cutters. I don't. They just scream problems when I hear them. When you hear my vinyl cutter, the servo, it's quiet. It's like a CNC quiet machine. 4-year-old Graphtec? Yeah, it's a really good cutter. Depends on how much you get for it, I guess. Like I said, that one back there is over 16 years. It's a MK. It's a 3000 MK2. So it's got registration mark reader. MK2 is registration mark reader. So way before 5000 and everything else. And it cuts great. The only thing that goes bad on those after time are the pinch rollers. When I lived in New Mexico, it was so dry there was no humidity. Rubber would just dry out sitting on a shelf. Anyways, I had it all through those years. So all I had to do up until now was just change the pinch rollers. I bought 4mm pinch rollers off of Amazon, and they're perfect on there. I didn't even buy the expensive ones from Graphtec. I just bought the ones, standard ones. They're like an 1/8 hole to match the shaft. Put them on, they're fine. I haven't had one issue. But yeah, so any Graphtec, any Graphtec's 10 years or newer is going to be good. You pay for quality, and Graphtec, Suma are some of the best cutters out there. I mean, I believe Suma, not the one that I got, but the real Sumas, branded Sumas, not the HP branded ones, are the best cutters out there. I think so. Any cutter with tangential cutter is really good. You can get a flatbed, man. That would be awesome to have. If I had money just flowing out. I'd have a flatbed cutter. Like time to make something's got a real nice flatbed cutter. And you got air, holds it down. I don't know how the longevity of those belts work when you keep cutting on them. I'd be interested to find out after a couple years after him having it and seeing his results. So, but let me see. Let's look up the let's look up the comparisons between the BN20A guys. So right here, let me put that back. If you look here, let's just move this up. Try not to cover my face. So let me pull it up. So the difference between the BN20A and the BN20, of course, is the price. You guys know that. Why would you want the BN20 over the BN20A? Yeah, Cmyk was talking about his Graphtec. Yeah, Graphtec is quality stuff. Still worth it. So mine is the BN20 non-A. Obviously, the A wasn't even out yet when this was built. So it's got two magentas. What's the benefit of having two magentas? Zero. I mean, they wear out like the same time. They drain the same time. It takes out from the bullet, which it has to, otherwise the ink just sits there. But from what I'm learning and reading, there is a way to convert two magentas into the white or silver if you ever wanted to do that. And in the beginning, I would love to have the white because I could have found a lot of uses for white. Like I have Static Clean. I could have printed on Static Clean or just clear stickers in general. But I know I wouldn't have used it enough, or I would have just made myself use it. So the two magentas is just a way to not have metallic or white. And when a salesman tells you don't buy the white, especially after warranty goes up, you're going to have empty pockets. You're going to dig deep to repair it. The white needs a lot of maintenance. The metallic too, they dry up. You know, if you don't use them, they just cause you issues. So that's the difference between the BN20 and BN28. BN20A is just a CMYK. That's it. Mine is the CMMYK, so it's two magentas. So if you were going to get white or silver, if you got a lot of work, and there are people that have it, and maybe they're doing great work on it, no doubt, that's awesome. So the BN20 is using Ecosol Max 2, and I heard that you could run EcoMax 2 on the BN20 regular, but I haven't done enough research on it yet to even look into that. And then again, there's the white metallic options. Let me get rid of this little chat window here. CMYK. Everything's the same as far as the print, media, what you can do. See how it says an automated ink circulation system recirculates the white. It reduces. Yeah, it shows that there because it has to have that white and metallic. That's what it has to have for that. So it doesn't show all that on the BN28 because it doesn't need it. See how it says high-speed print mode for increased print speed? It's basically just dumbing down your profile, your resolution. That's all it is. You're not going to print with that. Maybe small stuff. You need something detailed or one job. It has to be really, really good. Not really, really good. Really fast. Then you're going to use it. But for the most part, from what I'm gathering from people, so the printer itself has got the same speeds except for that print mode. Same head otherwise. They both say special features, guys. So it's not like you're buying the BN20A and it's going to be a lesser of a machine because you're paying, $1,500 less. You know what I mean? It's the same machine. If I were to do it again right now, I would do the BN20A for sure. I would do the BN20A, no doubt about it. Because that you got to buy extra ink just for the magenta alone to get started, so it's going to cost a little more upfront. It's not a lot, but it is there. Other than that, they're the same. The heads are the same. It's the same print head. Still an amazing print head. The quality that it puts out. Can I use my heater around the BN20? It's electric. I'm just worried about the warnings about inks being combustible. Don't want to blow myself up. Mike, is that funny? Yeah, don't lay the print over the heater, you know. Don't try to dry your clothes on like that, you know. No, your heat's fine. Just don't put it too close. I was talking about it earlier. Someone's asking about a heat gun. Or was that you? I'm not sure. You don't want to have too much heat, you know, on one area of your inks. It could affect the ink. And you could get hot spots in the ink and how it dries. So, you know, like a car, sometimes when you paint on a car, you can get a glossy or a matte finish how you apply heats on it unevenly. So it's the same thing with the ink. So don't put a heater right in front of it. And if you can feel the heat coming off too much, just let the air dry it. I like to hang them if you're able to hang them. Let me show. Let me get rid of that screen for a second. So if you look right here, right above me, right here, I hang prints from there, banners. So I don't like I'm in the basement, so my kids are running around like they're bulls in china shops up there. I get dust from the ceiling here because it's just a unfinished basement. So if I leave stuff flat on my table here, I'll get dust on it. So I don't like leaving prints drying on my table. So I try to hang them up. So what you could do is they sell these little clips. They're pressure clips. So you push up, they release. You push in, it holds it. So you can just put your prints up and hang them that way. That way you don't get dust. You know what I mean? Leonardo, yep, it's a great machine. But I don't love how it comes with a dryer. It comes with a dryer. It's very little. Yeah, it's amazing quality. That's, you know, they got to make it. They got to make a printer that's doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Otherwise, they'll never sell. It's like you know, a car dealer. You know, Ford's not going to sell make one car faster than the other. They'll never sell the more expensive, faster one or slower one. So they can't. You know, they got to make it to a point where it's affordable, but doesn't compete with their higher end. They don't want to compete with themselves, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, they could have added heater. That's a gripe of mine. They could have. There is a heater. It's just little. It's not a lot, and it's not adjustable. And they could have made it a little bit faster on the head speed. I mean, we got desktop inkjet printers that are faster. You know what I mean? There's no reason they had to put it this slow. Again, it could have come down to logistics on they don't want to compete with themselves. If it's too fast, you know, if somebody like us just needed 20-inch, but we're forced to buy a bigger one because we need the speed. Well, that's the problem. So yeah, they could have went faster on it, but again, amazing head on these things. The printing is great on them. So, anything else? We're dwindling down to 13. Thanks for all the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. I'm going to see if I can scroll here for a minute. Cool. So I'm a little bit behind there. Are you still using 10-year-old head carriages? For which ones, Mike? What did I miss on that one? Something I was saying, obviously. We're still using 10-year-old head carriage. For the roll-ins? I know the BN20 head's a special one. It's not just like a typical Epson head. It's definitely a better head. I don't know the full details on it, but you know, it goes out. It's like $2,000. So, anybody else got any questions on BN20? Jenny, I forgot to scroll up. Are you Cosworth on Facebook or something like that? Do you have your machine yet? Oh, yeah. Well, you're talking about the carriage itself, yeah. For sure. I mean, they could have made it faster. I mean, they really could have. I don't understand. The print head technology is better, obviously, but yeah, man, why is it so slow? I don't know. It still works. You know, it still works. It's not my latex, you know, or like yours, popping out banners like, you turn around, you're like, oh, there's the banner. So, anybody else doing lives tonight? That Juan, Waldo, Goonlife. Goonlife hasn't been doing many lately, has he? He does a lot of TKO ones or unboxing. And I always watch his. I always try to support the common guys. Juan, Rye Beats, I always support those guys. Those are like the 5 guys I usually support all the time. Derek and Darren from Time to Make Something and Evolute Designs. I always watch their videos too. I was a member on Derek's, and I guess when it tried to renew 1 month, my card or something wasn't there and it deactivated. So both of them, I gotta reinstate those. For the software on the BN20, is there a Mac compatible version? Nope, not for VersaWorks. Isn't that terrible? I like Mac too. I don't run them, but I used to run Boot Camp. I love Windows. Used to run the best on Macs. Not as much anymore, but I used to run Boot Camp, or was it Wine, or I don't remember. But no, there's no Mac version, right? I'm pretty sure. That discussion's come up, I think, before. And if there is, hey, that's news to me. You could run parallel. Yeah, that's what they do now, I guess. So, I mean, if you like, I don't know how the laggy it is running on the virtual PC or any of that is, or even parallels, but yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's what people are doing, right? Yeah, but you know, for the BN20, I have about 10 ThinkPads, T440s, and a lot of the T series. I like them. They're workhorses because like they never die. So I'm running an i5, 8 gigs of RAM. On the one printer. I'm sorry, the one computer over there that runs my BN20. It runs my laser, and it runs my Latex. Actually, I run my laser on the one I have over here too. But you don't need a lot of. It doesn't need a lot of resources. The ripping isn't that bad. You know, if you got at least 8, 12 gigs, maybe 16, 24, whatever. It's better. But I don't design on any of the computers I use for my printers. I have higher end printer upstairs in my office that I design on. I don't like creating latency on my machines. I'm not going to be running Corel, Illustrator, or anything on a machine at the same time as I'm printing from, because I don't want connection errors. You could set it up to rip and print at the same time, which saves you a lot of time. But, you know, I don't want to occupy the system resources and freeze up. You know, that's been an issue before with like CNCs. So I always design and do everything on a separate computer, no matter what. No matter what, that's what I do, guys. I'm just doing a couple of things. I'm here. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, what else? I mean, who's here? Somebody said 7 years. What's the longest you've had your BN20 so far? The people that are here. Eddie says, I want to get a BN20 to get started with the kind of printing. What kind of box does it come in? Is it on a pallet? Yeah, it's going to be delivered freight. All equipment from Roland comes in on freight on a pallet. You don't have to worry about it getting damaged because they'll replace it because, you know, it's brand new. My other Roland printers, that, you know, the BT12s, they're all done on the freight. So yeah, I mean, that's how they come. They will not. Don't buy a printer from somebody if they're going to send it UPS. UPS. The guy told me one time everything has to withstand a 6-foot drop. You really want something that's going to take a drop like that? And I've seen them load trucks before. They're terrible. I would never buy a used printer from somebody to have it shipped. Buy one where you can drive and get it. Don't ship one to yourself, a used printer. I would never do that, ever. All right, Mike. Well, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Go visit Mike's channel, guys. NovaWorks Color Imaging. It's got a lot of good content. A lot of good content. So he doesn't get enough credit for what he does on there. He just needs to. He does a lot of lives. So lives are good because then you got questions that come to your head. That's the time to do it, right, guys? You know, you're thinking about something and you can ask them right there. Like, people message me all day on YouTube and I respond a lot, or if not all, but not that quick. You know what I mean? Roland doesn't compete with itself. A 64-inch is too much money. Yeah, I mean, it is for us people that are running small little shops. I couldn't justify buying a machine that size and that much money without, without knowing if I had the work for it. My latex was not that much. I actually leased that the first year before anything, and the lease payment was really low. It was only like $300. So, and then I paid it off. So that was the first thing I did. But I'm not going to go spend $20,000 minimum on a big printer if I don't make that kind of most of my channel money, guys. Most of my channel money comes from my CNC work. It does. I have a CNC router. You've seen the videos. I make parts for RC cars and other things, real cars. I have a couple hot rods of my own that I make parts for too. So. Yeah, I definitely would have. If you knew what I went through with my latex, getting it down here was ridiculous. Yeah, I uncrated my BT12s upstairs, and my son and I, both of my sons, helped bring them down. Even the boxes were still heavy. But yeah, you're gonna uncrate it and bring it down. The BN20 is easy because without the ink, it's not so bad. It's just like, moving a desk around. It's not that bad at all. But it does have some weight, and one side is heavier than the other. So whoever's helping you, if you're stronger, take the heavier side. But when it's new, you don't got to worry about the inks backing up into lines or, flooding everything out because it's new. It's not set up yet. And make sure you select the right inks when you set those things up. But definitely uncrate it, inspect it. If there's any damage on it on the truck, don't accept it. I know the anticipation waiting for it's too exciting, and but don't hurt yourself in the long run. If there's a little bit of damage, you see a strap broke, and they usually Roland shrink wraps it and they strap on each one. Like when I got the BT12s, all the boxes were all together. So they'll ship it really good. Eddie, how long did it take? I think you might have been on another live where you talked about it. How long did it take for you to get your BN20? Because I know a lot of places have them in stock now, right? But they were backed up for a few months, right? How come Waldo? I haven't seen Waldo in here. Where's my homies at? Greg was here. Yeah, I never shipped any printer with ink in it, period. I sold my Epson to a guy from my channel when I was selling the Epson 6500. And we had a great idea that I had my old inks with the empty cartridges. So I took all the ink out of the cartridges, right? And I put the empty ones, I turned it off and packed it, and I put the empty ones in there. So they weren't left open. So I just put the empty ones in there, shipped it with the empty ink carts. And then the maintenance box, is like the waste box on ours. They fill up like the material inside so it holds it. So you don't really have to worry. There's like a one-way valve on those where it spits it in and won't let it come back. So I really wasn't too worried about that anyway. So I sent it to him with the inks in it, the old inks that were empty, and it was fine, perfectly fine. And you want to secure the head down. You want to do things like that because when you ship at FedEx or anywhere, man, they're gonna roll that. When the lady delivered the UV printer, oh my God, flipping it upside, like this. I was like, and then Waldo shipped it with the ink in it, so it got everywhere. It got everywhere, guys. You saw the videos; it was just caked with ink. Flushed to me for shipping. Yeah, I mean, there's with the Roland BN20, I wouldn't worry as much. It mostly ships by like your desktop printer, but you got to take the inks out. Yeah, for sure. Any alternatives for the printable HTV printer? I mean, there's lower end. You can use converted machines. I know there's was it Epson's. no experience technically. I have none. What else I would use for printing H2V? There's printable inkjet, you know, Epson larger printers that people can use, but I wouldn't be able to give you enough detail to tell you what would be an alternative to BN20 or anything in that range. So I mean, yeah, the BN20 is your best option for the price, but you know, $5,500 is not bad with inks and shipped. Do I use Roland vinyl? I do not. I don't use the Roland vinyl because it's never been in stock. You know what I mean? I use Oracal 3164. Let me give you the details. It's a 3.75 or a 4 mil vinyl. Is what I use, and I use the gloss white, full coverage, ecosolvent. I've got terrible light over here. I use what do you call it? I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I use the gloss 4 mil 3164 and full coverage on EcoSol on that vinyl is really flimsy. Like I did this one on my latex and it's more rigid. I was talking about that earlier. When this video uploads posted, go back to the beginning. I was talking about the printing on the Oracal. So, but I have not used Roland. I'm gonna just say the Roland. Honestly, I'm gonna say this quietly. The Roland's probably just rebranded vinyl. Did I say it? I know Roland doesn't have a paper mill. I know they don't have mills where they make, right? I'm pretty sure they don't. So they're having somebody make the vinyl for them. So it's probably the same vinyl that we would use under a different manufacturer. I'll just say it until somebody can prove me otherwise. You know, so maybe it's HP. HP makes media. Maybe they don't. Maybe they rebranded. Who knows? I like the HP Premier GP. It's a lower end. The prices are going up, but I like that printing on the BN20 also. I like the air release vinyl in general, but some of my customers I know when they get the vinyl, they don't like the gray backing because they're using clear packaging, and they don't want the gray backing, and it almost looks like a texture on there, like you see the air release lines. So a white backing, you know, the CP version of the Prime is good, but I like all the Oracal stuff, 3164, the 3165, the 3651. Those all print pretty comparable, and I've only ran samples of the other ones. I stock the 3164 because I like the way it prints, for sure. I'm thinking of getting it from this cover because it's not. Oh, okay, you haven't gotten it. No problem, Jessica. Do Oracal sell HTV as well? You know what? I don't know if Oracal does. I don't think they do, but who knows? I don't know. Let me look and see who. Let me see. Printable. The only ones I've used is the Caesar color print and the Brightline G-Flex 236. That's my two that I use. Roland Specialty Materials supposedly has printable. Frost color print, white color print. Let's check out the prices. So here's the Thermoflex. I've never had a problem with that, but I never printed, obviously. 24 inch by 5 yards, $79. I mean, the price is competitive. That's not ridiculous. Maybe it's something I'll try out. It's an opaque white film with a matte finish. I always use matte, by the way. I've never used a gloss white HTV. And not sure I'd like it. You know what I mean? Soft hand and stretchable resilience permitting application and elastometric. You know what I like? If it has a good elasticity like the Caesar color print does, I like that. I've noticed if you do a larger area, it's softer. So when I did a large area on my Brightline, it just feels like you got a piece of paper stuck to you. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you know, doesn't move around with your body. They're comparing it to like a lycra or spandex. This film contains blocking agents that reduces the dye migration into the film and has new, thicker line. I've never had an HTV have dye migration. It's so thick, right? You know, like, how could it? Is that even a thing for HTV, dye migration? I've never even heard of that. Not for HTV. Sublimation and DTFs and maybe all those other ones, but not HTV. It's like weird. Yeah, HP, like I said, HP probably doesn't make the vinyl either. They probably just rebrand it. When you have a big job to print and cut, could I use my Silhouette vinyl cutter to cut a design with the BN20? I'm going to tell you no from VersaWorks. You could print to BN20 from any program that you would normally print, right? So Corel and Illustrator, SAI, Flexi makes a cutting master or a quick cut plugin that you could print and cut from Corel and Illustrator or Affinity. I really like Affinity. So you could print and cut to your Silhouette probably that way. That I don't see a problem with that. There's probably drivers for that. There's a vinyl software called, what is it, Sir Cuts a Lot or something like that, that supports a lot of those cameos, silhouettes, and you could print from that to your whatever with registration mark and then cut. I mean, that would work fine. But VersaWorks, you will not be able to print BN20 and then cut your cameo silhouette from VersaWorks. I believe it only works with Roland cutters. I use the gloss, but I prefer the matte as well. Yeah, I like the matte. I don't know what it is. I got a sample from Stahls. They sent me a sample of HTV, and it was gloss. And it was weird because it wasn't all. When I printed on it as a test, it wasn't a solid gloss. It was like patchy. I don't know if that was just a product from that or if I had it too long before testing, but it was not a good solid gloss. And maybe it was too glossy. You know what I mean? But you know the trick, like when you post-press with a Teflon sheet or anything else with like a white toner printer or DTF, you can get that shine out of it. The reason you get that shine is because it's printed on a smooth plastic, and when you press it, it's smooth. So you just got to repress it to get that off. That's all that is. No problem. You might have to have this upgraded version of Silhouette Studio, but if you save it as PDF with the registration marks, you could import that to, say, any other printing software. It's possible. So, Dom, hey, man, thanks for stopping by, Dom. Dom's got a good point. So, with VersaWorks, so here, I'll just do a quick example. I'm going to pull up my Corel here, guys. Watch this for a minute, okay? I'm going to show you where is my Corel? I thought I had. All right, well, let me just talk about it for a second. So, in Flexi, I could set up any print job in Flexi and use the cut contour option in Flexi. It always recognizes that as a cutting file, as a cutting stroke. Whatever it is, it just uses the same spot color type. It's not necessarily the same color. It just uses the spot color file name or whatever it's in. It saves it as, right? The stroke and stuff like that. It might be just doing it by the stroke size. Anyways, and if I export as a PDF from Flexi, my VersaWorks will print and cut from that file, no problem. Same thing with Corel. I'll set up a file. I'll add my cut contour using the cut contour command, because that's what it probably bases it. It puts file name and puts cut contour with the capitals. You know, the way the trick is, the technique for putting cut contour with the capital C's. So Corel does that too, and then you export PDF. You could do that from there. And if it's with the I don't know how the Silhouette would. I never run one of those, so I'm not even the best to even answer that question. But I know with all the other programs, you could set up your contour cutting and just send it to BN20 and you're good. My registration marks on it, yeah. So Corel and Illustrator, I put registration marks on it, and then I'll run it through, and it'll read them and then cut them. Yeah. So, Dom, that's the same way I've been doing, in my other videos with the Epson C6500, or for years I've been doing it like that, using my Graphtec, because it has a registration mark reader. And no problem at all. That's easy. But cutting from the Silhouette software, you would just create your registration marks in the Silhouette. Like I said, maybe it needs to be upgraded. And then you would print right to the BN20 from your Silhouette. And then you would use your Silhouette to cut it, read the marks, and cut it same way. So yeah, I don't see that being an issue, because that would work for any program externally, outside of VersaWorks. You just have to find the right profiles within the drivers. Like if I print from Corel, I still get the same dialog where I could set my profiles and all that. So it'll work the same way as if you're using VersaWorks. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Yeah, I hit 23. Let me show you, it may not be dye migration, but more ink missing due to static. Static on the material can cause ink to mist around the edges of the print. Yeah, like if you have an edge-to-edge print, yeah, I could see that. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's not like sublimation, where the way sublimation turns the ink into gas, because the Ecosol and Latex, it's solid. It's already a solid finished form. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's possible, I guess. Maybe even around the edges. Silhouette sucks to print from because the ICC profile is available. That's why I've used Photoshop. So even if you're using the Roland BN20 print drivers, you're not getting the options to select, because in Corel I do. It opens up the BN20 dialog, and I can select whatever I need within. Well, you missed everything? We're still talking about it. Yeah, the video will be live. Obviously, once it's live, it'll be on the channel no matter what. We had lots of great info, lots of good discussions for the past hour and 52 minutes. I didn't think I was going to be on that long. But, I love printing. I'm really passionate about it. I could sit here and have conversations all night long with people about it. So, yeah. Lacey's Bodacious Bows. You know what? I ran into your channel because I think Roland put a link to your channel on Facebook, I think. Is that true? I think I might even subscribed. If I didn't, I will. But I remember Roland showcased you. You had a really nice setup with your equipment there, right? The BT12s? Maybe it was BT12s? Or both. I have BT12s and I have the BN20s, so I'm not sure if you're subscribed, but I've done a lot of videos for the past year and a half on them. But yeah, the videos will be up after the live, I imagine. Let me show you about, I'm going to open up Corel and just show you how to create just text as a cut or print and cut. Let's see what I did. Let me just create a... Let me just create something here. What I'm doing is I'm looking for... I had it set up. I'm in OBS Studio. There's my stats, guys, if you haven't seen that. I don't know. I had it set up for Corel. I was going to show you. I don't want to bore you with looking that up. But, yeah, so you could create the cut lines easily and print from Corel. Illustrator is the same way. Affinity also. But if you just had the color palette set up for cut contour, you're just basically changing the stroke. You're just going to it recognizes the color in the stroke, but not always the color. Because like I said, it recognizes the stroke. But you know what else? There's a way you can export from Corel using PDF3. I believe that setting is. And by doing that, it always recognizes the cut lines. If I don't use that, if I use like a different print setting, it won't recognize that cut. So, I don't have a Roland yet, but I have. Oh, maybe. What about? I'm the T-shirt buddy. Was he talking about you? Maybe it was him. Somebody had mentioned your channel, and I ended up on your channel somehow. I think I'm not even sure anymore. Maybe it was Instagram. Sorry if I'm confusing you. I don't have a Roland yet, but I'm very interested. Yeah, I mean, if you already have a home shop and you're looking to upgrade from cameo silhouettes and you want to print, BN20 is a great choice. If you got the room, buy a bigger one, you know. But the BN20 is perfect for people starting and learning. Get the learning curve out of the way before you jump up. That's probably your best bet. You know, it's $5,000. I don't think it's too much. The money you're going to make on it is going to pay for itself. Really, it will pay for itself. There's no doubt about it. Let me, while you guys are there, keep asking questions. If you got any questions, do that. You know, I have this set up. Okay. I think I found it, guys. So I'm gonna open up this Corel here, okay? All right, so here's my Corel, guys. So you see these, if you're gonna, this is Corel, this is just X7, right? So you see these, this is just test cut. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna copy this in here. If you want to cut letters on your BN20, you don't want them to print, you just want them to cut, or just set them up as cut. You just have any text font. You don't even really need to convert it to curves, but for the sake of this, I'll do that. Anyways, left click on your color palette, clear it out. I just right click on it to make it black. But in reality, see this color right here? This is the Roland color chart on the right here. Right click on that. Now that's a cut file. So you could just set up your whole page here as a cut file for VersaWorks, and then you just export it using the regular function. Okay. Let's see if this is. All right, so watch the settings that come up here. Now you look at how I have PDF preset PDF X3. If I selected a different one, it's not going to show that cutting line in VersaWorks. It just won't, for whatever reason. And I always do Cmyk out. So see these options I have here. This is how I always run whenever I set up a job for print. I always use Corel or Illustrator, but mostly Corel. And then I export it to my VersaWorks or load it right in there because it's on a different computer on the network. This is my exact options on here, guys. You see, I'm just using these standard options right here. It doesn't matter for the profile, but just these options, the way these are all ticked on those checkboxes. And select by objects and PDF. So if I didn't use that, it won't recognize that cut line at all. So this is just going to cut. It's not going to print that. But when you're in VersaWorks, set it in the dialog. You set it for just cut anyways. You know what I mean? So now, we'll start over again with making a contour cut. So we just got some text here. This is not. This is already curved, right? So let's just say we want to create a contour cut. Go to your contour cut tool on the side. Draw your line up however you want it, right? Let's just do that. I'm going to change the color. Let's make it blue. So right now, what you got to do is break it apart. Right click on that, break it apart. Now that line is blue, but really you don't want it blue. You're just going to make it clear by left clicking on your palette and then right clicking on your cut contour. See how it says cut contour? Did it pop up there or not? It popped up on the other screen, guys. I have 3 screens on here, sorry. Anyways, that's cut contour with the traditional capital C's for cut contour. and it's 100% magenta. That's the way it's cutting. Now, when you load that same way, you're going to export it, and you load that into VersaWorks. Now, that's going to be your print and your cut line. It's not going to print both, but if you export it the wrong way, a different mode, that's going to print. It's going to print this. But when you're loading in the VersaWorks, it shows you in VersaWorks a little A icon that represents contour cut. It's like a little outline around the A, and that means it's going to contour cut. If you don't see that, it didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that off. But that's how I just create a cut contour in Corel and save it. It's really simple. And it's no different for any program. Like I said, when I use Flexi and I do that, I just use the cut contour color, spot color in the dialog there. Illustrator is the same thing. You create a layer, spot colors. It's all the same way. There's a lot of videos on YouTube for it. But if you join my channel, that's the kind of things I'll do for people. When you join my monthly membership, I've got people join. There, it's $2.99 for that cheap package. What you get with that is I'll do free free your subscription, but I'll do videos specifically for you. And when you ask me to do something, I'll do videos like that that pertain to you or your situation, and they'll be for all members only. Everything else is not. You don't need a membership to see my material. It's only special request stuff that I do that. And then the next package up, I give like free stickers or free shirt or something like that with your purchase. So you don't have to join. It's just an option there. And the videos all have the super thanks and all that stuff. So again, no pressure. You don't have to pay. I'm not homeless. I don't. Any money that I get for the channel just goes back into the equipment I need for the channel. See this light table? I got this for free. Somebody reached out to me. A lot of people reach out. They want me to do reviews, but I won't do reviews on equipment that doesn't make sense to my channel. So this is a little light table that's got a battery backup, and it's A3 size, so you can do weeding on it and other things, tracing on it, which is kind of neat. So, sorry, I'm just trying to open stuff up here. So yeah, I mean, it's the channel is free for everybody. The membership only just means that it's for like special requests. People want to do stuff that's pertaining to their situation. So yeah, Eddie, that was just a really quick basic tutorial. I just typed it in just to show you how I create a contour on simple objects. That's it. But those are the kind of tutorials I'll do, like I was saying, for the memberships, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Did you ever make a video on the cost for stickers? I did a video on pricing for media, but it's hard to pricing's almost like every job is different for me. But I don't get big thousands of sticker jobs. I don't get them like that. So my lower quantities, I charge like 35 cents a decal, 3.5 or 3x5 or smaller, with a minimum. So I have like a $30 minimum. You got to, otherwise you're not making money. But I haven't print a lot for pay on my BN20. Mostly it's my latex. My BN20, I use a lot of product decaling. I do a lot of product giveaways with decals and stuff that I just include with my orders. It's really nice. People like getting extra stickers, So the glitter HTV I'm weeding, it's really hard to see the lines. Yeah, something like this light thing might help, because the bright line media, I could see the lines when I not this one, but when I put bright line on a table with light or any light, I could see the lines easier. The C's or color print, I couldn't see. Man, I was struggling, and I don't even have my glasses on. I took my glasses off, guys, because it was glaring off of the screen. Anyways, yeah, I don't see the lines when I'm weeding it. It's terrible. So the light table would help. Yeah, I have a video coming. I'm gonna open box and review and demo it, and hopefully it'll help people. So it's not a bad cheap piece of equipment that you could have, or you could build your own little table. You don't have to buy this. There will be a link to buy it, but I'm just doing my duties here. But I was proposed to open box, review it, and tell them what I thought. No, didn't tell me to say anything special. Didn't give me a script. I'm just going to open it and tell you if I like it or not. And if it works, it works. So, but yeah, weeding is always a hassle with my eyes. Terrible eyes. Yeah, I've seen, I don't know what it is. I've seen your channel, Lacey. I have, is my saying it right, Lacey? Yeah. I've seen your channel. I just don't know how I got to it. I really don't. I don't. Maybe it was just a link from Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Maybe. I don't know. I always like to check out channels. I'm going to see if I have it open. I'll be thinking about it now. Let's see. No, it wasn't. It wasn't your name. I've seen your name. Maybe it was in somebody else's channel live. It wasn't your name though. It definitely was not. Yeah, it definitely wasn't your name. I'm not going to say the name. But I've seen your name in somebody's live. Maybe it was Juan's or Waldo's or whoever's. Rise, a lot of the popular printing channels, maybe. But I've seen it. I don't know where I've seen it before. Unless it's just one of those names where it just looks familiar. I guess that's possible too. So, any other questions you guys got? Oh, you subscribed a few days ago. I appreciate it. Really cool. You're putting your iPhone under a piece of glass? For the light, right? Yeah. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Appreciate it. I'm getting close to my turning off tonight. I've been on for over 2 hours. I never thought I'd hit 2 hours, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, guys. I put out content. I put out honest content. I'm not a paid influencer of any specific product or equipment. So everything is on my channel is all free speech opinions from experience. I comment on things that I have, that I use, or have experience with. I'm not going to speculate on equipment or the quality of something if I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm not going to tell you. You do have a video with over 2 million views? Well, maybe that's why. Well, what's the video? I'll check it out. They got 2,000,001 now. Eddie, thanks for all the merch during your lives and your no problem, man. I appreciate you being here. Having people watch you is what makes me, drives me to keep going. Talking for 2 hours. Sometimes maybe I talk too much. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like I'm rambling now. So I'm glad you found me too, and I'm gonna subscribe back to you. So I'm gonna hopefully you put out some content and get a printer. Get the BN20 if you can afford it, and you got the means to do it. Do it. It'll push you to another level. Now I'm anxious to see what your 2 million videos is. That's got to be interesting. You'll be giving me some tips for sure. So, but all right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night on this, and I 100% appreciate everybody that's been in here tonight. Like, subscribe, hit that notification for sure. And I'm always here in the comments. Always. I get comments all day long, and I respond to almost every single one the same day. Sometimes within a few minutes, because I work from home during the day now, or have been. So I got time sometimes to sneak off for a minute here and there. Waiting for a file to save. I got a minute to kill. I got like so many different computers running. So, but yeah, I appreciate it for everyone being here tonight. Thanks for all the good questions. Your questions help me and help other people. So it's prepared to be overwhelmed. Yeah, maybe I will be. So, but all right, guys, we'll have a good. Oh, Waldo's here now. 2 hours. Well, Waldo, I bought the lead. Now you jump in. Waldo's one of my favorite channels, guys. He does honest reviews too. He's like me, where he just puts stuff up and tells you how it is. Certain companies, certain manufacturers, certain products, But we all are like-minded and we share the same kind of views. But Waldo, what took you so long getting here? Did you not know I was on? Matter of fact, I haven't seen Rye Beats, Juan, or anybody really. It's just been us peasants. Oh, underwhelmed. I thought you said overwhelmed. I guess I read that really fast. Because I was like, oh boy, I'm going to be overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed looking at my own videos, trying to edit them. So, but yeah, Waldo, I think it's a record by maybe an hour, maybe a half hour, something like that. But I am going to get off now because I gotta run my laser. Actually, I got 2 LED signs I got to make. I was supposed to make 2 days ago, but I was going through my material and I thought I had 3/16, but it was all 1/8 inch. I was kind of mad because I waited so long, but I found a piece I can use. So, anyways, have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming by. Again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video. You didn't see the ring? Yeah, you know what? I don't get that ring notification sometimes for Rise or Wands either. I just like have to happen to be on. You know what I mean? So, but all right, guys, signing off. I'm out of here. Have a good night. It is 11:30 my time. All right. See you in the next video, guys.